talk about the physiques. So Big Ramy's the standard. He's now two-time Mr. Olympia, probably about 295 pounds on stage, just a beast. The heaviest Mr. Olympia we've ever, well, Ronnie won it at 296 that one time, but you know, Ramy's not getting any lighter. He's not going to ever come in at like 270. That's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. Prettiest physique? No, not at all. Does he need a lot more? There's more things I want to see with him where I'd be a lot more satisfied saying this is the greatest physique in the world. Like if he had the muscular detail of a hadichoopan, if he had a little bigger calves, you know, I'm very nitpicky because that's supposed to represent the best physique on the planet right now. But still, then you had a lot of people arguing for brandoncurry to win, and they were very close. They were 1 point apart after Friday night's judging. Totally different. Talk about apples and oranges. You know, it's kind of like when Dorian was Mr. Olympia, and you had guys with much better shape like yourself, like Flex Wheeler, like Sean Ray. So what do you do when you have someone who's got that beautiful shape and symmetry and those lines, and then you just have this brutal mass monster next to them? I mean, everybody makes their own decision. You're sitting there, to use our old phrase, how did you see it?
I think when something comes close to that, I think you should judge what that athlete does with the title. You know, or is he a great ambassador? What is he doing in the community? You know, and setting back and looking at who was going to win, I certainly would have given it to Brandon. You know, my opinion, because I knew when he had won that title, what he was going to do with that title. He went out into the community. Yeah. We saw him be involved with the kids. We saw him doing seminar everywhere Brandon went. That trophy went with him, and he let it be seen and known that this stands for something. You know, this stands that you can accomplish something. And he sat there with that trophy and took it out on the football fields and everything. Yeah. And that was just, we hadn't seen that in a long time. And that's what we're missing. And I haven't seen Ramy do anything with the title in the last year that he's had that title. Nobody saw him. I mean, he just kind of like disappeared, went home, and you didn't hear of him until he actually started training in the gym with Dennis. Yeah. So I think, you know, a lot comes along with that title other than just the physique. So now let's go to the physique. Yeah. I think overall, Brandon had better lines. I think better presentation, and I don't think a Mr. Olympia should win just because he's the biggest guy on the stage. I think when you talk about professional athlete, IFBB pro, and again, that's what has kind of fell by the wayside when Joe Weider was alive, that, you know, we were held to certain standards. You know, we had to show up. I mean, I know these guys missed their peak. Both of them missed their peak. Mm-hmm. But we were held to do things. We had to get out on the road. We had to go to military base. We had to give seminars. We had to show up for magazine photo shoots with Chris Salon and Bill Dobbins and the whole Weider corporation. They had things structured. You know, our athletes, all the top 4 guys, or whoever had athletes, whoever had contracts with Weider, we would go out and the world would see us. You know, and that's what's missing right now. So for me, it's kind of heartbreaking to see that, wow, you know, he wins and now what? You know, the guy won and now what? You know, so I think when you talk about a professional athlete, he has to be professional, giving back to the community, a well-spoken guy, which Brandon is. You know, he's a married guy, he's a family guy, and these things go a long way when you talk about a Mr. Olympia, because that's a man that other men, he's supposed to be the elite of men, you know, and that title carries a lot more than what it was awarded. So I would certainly just say, you know, I think if it's that 1 point of a difference, then Brandon should have had it.